I may not post all the research right away.
All right.
So now, as of April of this month, the Federal Reserve is totally blocked all the major banks. It includes all the banks, U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, go on, all the major banks, Citigroup. They cannot cash out their MERS papers anymore. This is it. Now the Court of Appeal, in the docket number 290248, reversed all the foreclosures. Every single one of the foreclosures which was done since 2007, they got a loophole. Finally, we can void them out. And the peoples can get their houses back, because since they screwed it up, they have to at least redo it, let's say. But then, knowing all this fraud, they have to contest it. And I would like to ask any of those persons.
It's from the last page on that.
Okay, yeah.
Shot of the last page. It shows in conclusion they were to go read it. They reversed the circuit court's affirmance of the district court's decision orders, vacate the foreclosure proceedings, and remand the further proceeding consistent with this opinion. We do not retain jurisdiction defendants as prevailing parties. Okay.
And this is another one which is, there's for every single one of the banks was actually,
even though
no, they can find it themselves.
Even though it says Wells Fargo.
That's but it's for all the banks. They pretty much have the same things. They cannot no longer cash out those toxic assets because now all of a sudden it makes the Federal Reserve Bank look bad. It should, because there's nothing good about them. Period.
What about buying a house from an owner cash?
Okay. If you buy a house from owner cash, no problem. Once they get paid off back to the banks, that's a different story. But if you bought foreclosures, and I've been telling people for years, do not buy no foreclosures, because you're at the real problem right now. Because the previous owners who got evicted, they have full rights to come and kick you out and get their house. And thank you for remodeling. And I've been telling you that stuff for a long time. And and the people who's going to get now screwed up, they again got screwed up by the banks. And this time, guys, we gotta go research it. There's thousands of people who've done this research. It's not just me, by no means. I do not take credit for most of the stuff at all. But there is a lot of movement. That's what is the sovereign movement really got big, just because of this MERS scandal. Because once you learn it, what's the real 9/11 has happened, so the bankers connecting with the Catholic Church and Vatican was behind 9/11. It was not just a caveman who came and flew the plane to us. No. Somebody paid that caveman.
Okay.
And who paid it? Osama bin Laden never been actually charged for 9/11 attack. Why did we kill him?
Oh boy, you really vicious, buddy.
Oh boys,
Right,
it's just a joke sometimes when I listen to the news and the way they decoy the information so you would not know. Anytime you're looking at the TV station and they got an eye around it, what does that eye represent? A good book to read for you guys.
What is that?
Masonic signs and occult, so you would know it. It's actually debunk all their different symbols. It's crazy how it's all controlled by the actual Illuminatis. Anytime you see a left eye, and it's always left eye, and it's Illuminatis, and it's a devil's eye.
You know, a lot of people have a lot of faith and confidence in what the Masons are doing. You know, the Masons claim to be, connected with God and doing different things for people.
Which each personal one of us could have a relationship with God. We do not need no denomination to guide us to it. The Bible is a good book, greatest book ever, which will teach you about the God. If you read it and pay attention to it through prayer, you will learn everything you need to know about God. But if you go and just listen there and just hope the pastors tells you the truth, then you're already lost.
Oh, okay.
My people will be destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You can't just go and just expect somebody else to protect your interests. Nobody can state your claims but yourself.
Right.
You don't want to protect my interest. You want to protect your. We all have selfishness inside us. But at the same time, we need to know our rights.
But me, I'm not.
I'm not. No. Charles is the more seriously. He is the great.
He's right. We all do have a bit of
like little babies. We do have a little selfishness inside us.
Right.
And contact us. We will help every single person to go after those bankers. It's my passion. I will not stop it. They can't kill me anywhere. So, good luck to them.
All right. Well, we'll put up a number later on so people can contact you because you seem to be the expert in this. I'm just a general student, just like anybody else. Of course, I look at things from the legal aspect all the way as to how I can work within the system, even though I know that I'm fighting a system that's full of corruption.
It is.
The laws are put in place for loophole after loophole after loophole. Even though, remember I was showing you another loophole where we thought we really had them over a barrel, but then when you read the language of that law, it gives them a loophole. It gives them, and one of the most powerful laws that's written is called discretionary laws. There's at least 4 different categories of law. There's statutory law, okay, or what they call Roman law. There's common law, which is kind of put in place by the people and the society in which you live, the accepted norms, and what is normally accepted is common law. Then what trumps both of those laws in our country, not in all countries, I've got to point that out very clearly because you can go to some countries and their constitution really means nothing.
Yeah.
But constitutional law here is very powerful. And it overrides statutory law and common law. If you constitutionally break a law, then it in order to get someone because of a law, that law normally would be overridden or trumped out by constitutional law. But there's one law that trumps even constitutional law. What law is that? Do you all know?
Admiralty.
Well, huh?
Admiralty law.
Well, that's another one. That's a new one to me. But the ones that they use to overcome constitutional law, what do you think they are? There's two. Not admiral. I'm not talking about that one. But there's 2 laws that we know about today that override. Well, one of them that you all know. The other one is silent.
All I know is one, spiritual law. He rules every aspect of
now that one I'll put in addition to the admiral law, but that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one that secular man uses. Okay. No, let me put it like this. It overrides even constitutional law. It's called case law. Okay. Mm-hmm. Case law has evidence of that overrides all laws based on the rule of estoppel. Okay, in other words, if you do one thing today, you can't do something different tomorrow. Yep. And so if you waive your constitutional rights in one case, you got to be careful because you can set precedents for the next, so that others will be forced to waive their constitutional right when they saw that it didn't bring any harm. Because constitutional law is to protect the sovereign rights of people, okay, and to enforce human rights. Okay, now there's another one that overrides that one. It's a hidden one, okay? And the reason why I'm bringing this out is because there's several ways to approach this problem of the MERS, and you have to know what you're doing too. You really can't go in there trying to guess because they'll chew you up with all of these at least these 2 laws, and one is called discretionary law. Mm-hmm. Discretionary law allows room for the courts to make a decision based on their opinion. Okay, and so even if you say, "Well, I'm going to appeal it because they had a wrong appealing," if they wanted to, you could take it all the way to the Supreme Court, and because they own discretionary law, you are messed up because they can decide that they don't even want to hear the case, just based on the rule of discretionary law. And if they don't want to hear the case, be it justice or not, it dies. Now, but guess what?
There's a world court
There's
now.
another law that overrides all of that. It's called the law of the people. Okay, checks and balances. You have 3 checks and balances in this country: the judicial, the legislation, and the executive. But I always say the 4th one is the people. Okay, and that's what's happening in Libya. The people have overridden the government checks and balance when they feel that is. But the problem is that convincing the people that they have really been done in is another problem. And so that's why that rule is so powerful, because you're going to have a hard time convincing everybody in the United States to understand that the constitutional laws have been thrown out, and now all we have is anarchy. In other words, everybody's law for themselves. And in some parts of these United States, a person has to pack a gun now.
I know.
Okay, because it's not anybody's law, it's the man who's got the quickest hand. You know, like we used to do in the West. I don't care if you are running. Even the sheriff had to run when he didn't have the power. Okay, because they just, boom, and he's a dead man, because it was a law of anarchy.
That's
the law of force. And so I'm just saying that I'm saying this to understand that try to study this thing from an aspect of your capacity to be able to implement it.
But I gotta ask you a couple questions. Take a look.
And we're slowly running out.
It's okay. We still got time. Can God save everybody?
No.
Okay, so if God cannot save everybody,
Who believes that God can, though?
When he say can save everybody, he's only saving his chosen. When I say chosen, he's saving those in which he has given.
who choose to actually worship Him too.
Everyone chooses to worship
everybody's
him.
not going to choose it.
Everybody's
not going to choose. See, God has conditions on His salvation.
Yes, exactly.
Now, His desire
to save everybody.
is
Yes,
there.
desire is there.
His desire
But
to save. He says, it pains me to see punish the wicked.
Why would you
But
do
look,
that?
if I give you something, if I give you this water, there ain't no much water in here, and you're thirsty and you don't drink it, that's on you. I can't force you to drink that water, okay? And God will not do it. He says every man must come on. Because if He did that, then He would be a tyrannical God.
We say that, but in all honesty, everyone out there who's want to serve Him.
Use the word want. You can't use the word want.
Okay, well, let me
because that's a choice.
First, let me change
I'm
that.
about you, boy.
For those who are and wholeheartedly want to know Him, understand this: He will choose you. You can't choose Him.
But listen, no,
wait. You can't choose him.
Wait.
Yeah,
you can't.
You have to choose first.
You have to choose. That's the only way you can be saved. He said, "Choose ye this day whom ye will serve."
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and see, the power was in God gave the power to you. He empowered you. Now His capacity to save you is unlimited. Okay,
when I say
because
He'll choose you.
Yeah. We got a live one here.
Because, for one, those of them that He gave the Holy Spirit to and the truth, those are the ones that He have chosen. Now, for those that got kicked out of heaven, those are the same ones that won't humble to them. They were not humble to Him.
I think I agree with you to the sense.
He chose. He'll choose you.
But see, God chooses, and I'm put like this: God chooses the ones
It's in your
that
book.
He believes.
It's in your Bible. He said, "You have not chosen me."
Well, that's again they chose. But those ones who choose Him, that's a different story.
He chooses
I have chosen
that He knows the condition of their hearts, that they will choose Him.
Yes, exactly.
In the end, that's the way God works. He knows that. We don't know who's chosen Him. Like the thief on the cross, we didn't know that he chose God until the limelight was on him, and and he was given that position.